So what can the government do to help Canadians with rising costs? Well, let's bring in Associate Finance Minister Boissonnault. Welcome, Minister. Thanks for joining us. First off, we want to remind viewers that the government does not dictate what the Bank of Canada does with its rates. But earlier this year, the central bank did indicate that it would be raising those rates. And your government's fall economic update did not bring in new measures to help all Canadians to deal with the high cost of living. Now that Canadians are dealing with these rates that we haven't seen in 14 years, did your government miss an opportunity to provide some more broad-based help in that fall economic statement?
Well, Mike, it's a pleasure to be with you here today. And I think where we should start is just stating really clearly that I know that Canadians are living through a tough time. I hear it from people in my own riding. And I think if we take a look, we got to go look back a few years to making sure that when we put in place the Canada Child Benefit, we knew it would give more money to parents. When we, just a year ago, announced historic childcare agreements, cutting childcare fees in half, that would put thousands of dollars in the pockets of Canadians, that we wanted to make sure that, middle-class Canadians had that buffer to be able to withstand whatever the economy would throw at us. And I think you had a lead-in from the opposition leader. And I just have to say, really straight off the top, that what the leader said is just wrong. If you take a look at the Scotiabank report today on our COVID spend, our COVID investments in Canadians, negligible impact on inflation. And quite frankly, we staved off a huge deflation. Canadians needed us to lean in. We leaned in. And in terms of supports, I think, Mike, what's really important is today we got the fall economic statement passed, and there's really good supports in there to eliminate the interest on student loans, to make sure that people can save money tax-free for their first home, that people who are, making low income, but they're really strong workers, they're able to get their Canada Workers Benefit much faster. And on top of that, we paid down the deficit. So we have the lowest deficit in the G7, and we're actually making investments that are going to grow the economy, which should take some heat out of the economy, thus leading to lower inflation into 23 and into 24.
But Mr. Boissonnault, so when does that come? Because when you say taking heat off the economy, Canadians are sitting back, paying more at the grocery store, more at other places as well. And they wonder if they are not getting that targeted support that your government has put in, then what is the help for them?
Well, I think if there are, I think it's millions of Canadians that are going to have the benefit of the doubling of the GST tax credit, Mike, and also other supports that we've had in place for quite some time. And if you take a look at the supports that we put in place in the fall, like the $500 top-up for housing and other measures that we put in place, look, I think it was just last week we opened the portal on CRA for Canadians to go have access to dental care. And we got the numbers today from my colleague, the Minister of Children and Families, Honourable Corinna Gould. 35,000 Canadian families have already applied to the portal so that they can get the $630 for each of their children under 12. And these are families, Mike, that make less than $90,000. So that's $630 this year, $630 next year for each kid. Some of them who might not have been to the dentist for a while. Those are the kind of supports that we have put in place. And look, Mike, you're right. We've had to be targeted. We want to make sure that we don't have broad-based supports that might then increase inflation. So we've been targeted,
we've
been compassionate,
supports,
and we're making sure.
So Minister, with all due respect,
sure
what about those Canadians that are not getting the targeted supports? What about those Canadians?
So this is why we said very clearly that we had Canadians' backs during the pandemic. We put in place a number of supports, like I said, the child care benefit, the child care fees, and we have to make sure that we don't go back to pandemic supports and then make the job of the Bank of Canada even harder. You're right off the start to say that the Bank of Canada has the responsibility for monetary policy. And let's just review what their mandate is. Their mandate set last December was to keep inflation within 2%. We're at 6.9 now. You've seen the statement from the bank today, and they have been very clear that core inflation is higher than we want it to be. It seems to be stabilizing, but they're going to use the tools they need to get that down. And we're in for a turbulent economic time. It's going to be 2023 is going to present us with some challenges, and we're going to be in this together, and we're going to continue to focus on those Canadians who need the support the most when they need it the most.
Minister, on another note, I know this is not your file, but the federal government did award a contract for RCMP communications equipment to Sinclair Technologies, an Ontario-based company that was taken over by a Chinese company, which was deemed a national security risk by the U.S. Is your government considering terminating that contract now?
I think the Prime Minister was very clear earlier today. I take this very seriously. So does he. So do our colleagues. We're going to review this swiftly. Senior officials are reviewing this decision now. We take national security at the utmost importance. We're going to move on this. The security of Canadians, of our businesses, of our healthcare system, of our government is a primary concern for us. It's job number one after keeping Canadians safe. So we're going to move quickly on this and get to the bottom of it and do what we need to do to make sure that we're protecting national security interests.
Associate Finance Minister Randy Boissonnault, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.